Good morning, good morning. So, as I mentioned, the beginning of the week or during the one-on-one sessions, we are going to be using the suspensions today. So if you have these, you can use them. It is optional. We're working the whole body just in a different way. So for example, if I say we're going to do squats, and if you don't have these, that is okay. You can just do a regular squat or a wall sit. I will give you different variations. So we are going to start today with the reverse mountain climber. So what you want to do, if you are using these, is put your feet through the loops. But I'm going to show those who don't have the suspensions. The reverse mountain climber, you're going to go into a reverse tabletop. You can also do this on the chair. You can have bent legs or straight legs, and you're going to drive your knees in. If you're doing it with straight legs, it is harder that way. If you're doing it with bent legs, that is okay too. You're still going to feel those abs working. And of course, if you're using the suspensions, you're going to put your heels through it. Actually, I think I might take my shoes off. Well, we'll see. We'll see. All right. So if you're using the suspensions, you're going to put your feet through the loop, lift your hips, drive those knees in. Squeeze your glutes, drop your shoulders down, make sure the shoulders are away from your neck and your ears, and you're lifting through your hips as much as you can, whether if you're using the suspensions or not. Make sure you're activating through your core and you're driving your knees close to your chest. It does not have to go too high, just high enough where you're feeling the squeeze in your abs. After your last one, gently bring yourself down. If you're on the suspensions, let's go ahead and remove your feet from it. We're going to do some squats next, or a squat jump. I'm going to give you different variations of it. You don't have to do a full-on jump. I know a lot of people don't feel comfortable doing that. However, if you are doing a jump, you can use a chair. So the chair can go in front of you and you're going to squat. And you can do a slight hop. If you don't want to do a hop, that is okay. You do not have to. You can do a squat, come up on the heels of your feet, or come up onto the toes and the balls of your feet. Bring your heels up, and then bring it down. Squat, lift your heels up, down. If you're using the suspensions, same exact thing. The suspensions is kind of a good tool to use to support, and because you do have good support here, you can probably get a lower squat. So you're going to squat down. If you are hopping, you can hop at the top. Okay? Actually, I need to move this mat out the way for this. Make sure you're drawing your abs in. And if you are jumping, you're landing lightly on your feet. So try to use control in your muscles. And and also use controlling your abs. Your abs are helping you. Even when you're landing, you get that crunch. 2 more and then hold it. Squat down, reach those hips back. Try to take your weight as much as you can to the back of your body. Lift up through your chest. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lightly bring yourself up. Shake it on out. We're going to do the rows next. When you do the rows, if you're using the suspensions, you can use that. You can use the resistance band because you're going to do the row into your back like this. If not, you can do a tabletop row where you're down on your hands and your knees or on the chair. You can do a row like this, alternating arms, okay? So there's so many different ways that you can do the row. So you can do the resistance band, going down here. You can go into the mat and do the tabletops or the chair. But if you are using the suspensions, you're going to go into a reverse tabletop. Okay, now you want to lean super far back. It's kind of scary, but make sure your suspension is secured, of course. And then you're going to lift yourself, squeeze your back. You're going to go down, open up through your chest on the way up, go down, abs are in, squeeze your back. Here you're also working your glutes. You want the weight on the heels of your feet. Your toes might slightly come up, and if they do, that is okay. I'd rather your toes to go up versus you having pressure on your toes. That's what I don't want. I don't want pressure on the toes. I want more pressure on the heels of your feet. Make sure we're breathing. Make sure you're activating your core. And remember, we're working the back muscles. Back muscles predominantly. You might feel your abs, legs. Use controlling your back. Use controlling your abs and your glutes. Make sure your shoulders are dropped. I just had to correct myself, and that's what we do. When you're training, you're becoming aware of your body and how it's supposed to feel versus how it's supposed to look. You're like, oh, shoulders down, squeeze the back. Last one. And let's do a light hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay, next is a core exercise. We are going to be doing 2 different ones. We're going to do what's called the body saw first. This, I am going to need my mat. You're in a forearm position, and I will show you different ways. If you're not using the suspensions and you want to do this on the floor, you can go into the chair, or you can go into the floor. You can even go into your knees if you don't want to go into a full plank. And when you do these, you're going forward, back, forward, back. So I'm not saying move your butt up. You can do that too if that feels better for you. But instead, I want you to lift your heels so you're going forward, back, the seesaw. So think of a seesaw. So that's what you're going to be doing. You can do the same thing on the chair too. Okay, if you're using the suspensions, bring your feet on the lower parts. Okay. And then put yourself in that plank position. Okay? So now you have your feet up, and you're just going forward, back, nice and slow. Make sure you have your abs in tight. Make sure we're breathing. And push through. You're going to feel the burn, but push through as much as you can. All right, so now bring yourself down, because we are going to do another one, another ab one. The pendulum. Okay, so the pendulum, you're on your hands and your feet are swaying side to side. So instead of your body going forward and back, you're going to go side to side. Now, if you're using the chair or if you're just on the floor, you can just do hip dips. Okay, so you're bringing your hips down. And what I mean by bringing your hips down, you're not taking your hips all the way down to the floor. I want us to be careful with the back. Okay, and it also just depends on flexibility. But think of a shift. So, and your feet can be out wide. You're just going to shift, middle, shift, center, right, center, left. So just shifting the hips a little bit. Again, it does not have to be super crazy. Unless you want to be a little crazy, then of course, join me. If you're using the suspensions, you're going to bring your feet how it was again. Walk your body out, and you're just going to swing the legs. Okay? So don't swing them too crazy, because you have to control it with your muscles. Once you're done, gently bring yourself down. Those are way more intense than how it looks. All right, next one is upper body. So let's get to the triceps. I'm going to grab some water. I am drenching over here. Whew, sweating, sweating, sweating. All right, triceps. What you're going to do is, okay, if you're not using the suspensions, you're going to do overhead extensions. So the overhead extensions, if you're sitting on a chair, you can sit down, you take the weights back. Okay, you can also use a band. So let's say you're using one of your loop bands, arms up, and then you're just going to bend your arms back. Okay, you can do tricep kickbacks. Okay, but if you are using the suspensions, you are going to turn away from the door. Okay, you're gonna lean forward, bend your elbows, go up. But you want to make sure you're leaning first. The more you lean, the harder it will be. Okay, you're gonna bend and extend, nice and slow. Remember, we're getting the back of the arm, so make sure you're pressing the shoulders down. No matter where you're at, those shoulders should be down. Take your time. Remember, it's never a race. Just take your time and take the tension to where it needs to be felt, which is the triceps. Take the tension all the way to those triceps. Last two. Jeez, those hurt. All right, so now we are gonna switch it to bicep curls. So if you're not using any equipment and you wanna use like a towel or a loop band, you're gonna bring your elbows in and you're gonna do bicep curls like that. You can use weights. If you wanna use light weights, you can. Or any weight. If you're using weights, probably don't go more than 10. And or you can use a regular resistance band. If you are using the suspension, then what you want to do is make sure you're leaning back. So you want to lean back as much as you can. Then you're going to curl up. So elbows are out. You're going to curl. You can do a hammer curl or standard. I usually switch it just depending on how my wrists are feeling. And you're just going to curl yourself up. Try not to drop your elbows. Try to keep them up. Might feel your triceps on this one too, but really try to focus on the biceps. Two more. Okay, grand finale, and then we will do some stretching. Oh, sweating. Push-ups. So I'm going to give you different ways of doing push-ups if you want to use the wall. And all of these are effective, okay? So, if you do the wall push-up, hands to the wall, okay? If you want to do it a little bit harder on the wall, bring your hands lower and bring your feet further back, okay? So wall push-up. I want elbows to go out 45 degrees. If you're using the chair, you can use a chair. For the push-up, you can use the floor, and if you want to have a slight bend in your knees and do it that way, so hips are forward, you can do it that way, okay? If you don't want to do any push-ups at all, we're working chest muscles, you can grab a light weight and do an air chest press. So you can grab light weights, 5 pounds or less, and you can push forward and back, okay? So that you're still working your chest muscles. If you're using those suspensions, go ahead and bring your feet through the bottom loop. You're going to walk your hands out, okay, and push up. Lead with your chest, neutralize your chin, or bring your chin down, neutralize your neck. My muscles are definitely tapping out, so let's go for 2 more. Woo. All right, so you guys, today's was hard, okay? For me it was, but this is what happens when you work out almost every day. But you always want to push yourself to the max of the day of, okay? The suspensions, by the way, if you guys do not have it, I recommend it for those who want a high level of intensity, but low impact. So I don't know if you guys can see, but I am drenching over here. But the suspension workouts are great because you don't need to do anything for too long, of course. But because of the elevation of you bringing your legs down or up, your arms down and up, it is going to create a different level of intensity. Okay. Whew. So let's start with some shoulder rolls. You're gonna roll out through your shoulders. Breathing, being super proud of ourselves, getting in an extra workout. And go ahead and reverse the shoulder rolls. And then let's go on over to a side bend. So with the side bend, you can go onto your hands or your elbows. Very gently lift yourself back to center. Let's take it down to the other side. Gently lift yourself back to center. Let's go into what's called the butterfly. Bring your feet together, sit up nice and tall, roll the shoulders back, and go ahead and go right down to the middle. Shoulders are down in the back. We can round out the back. Gently roll yourself on up. Take one leg and bring it around the other side for the seated twist. The bottom leg can be straightened if you don't want to bend it. And then you're going to twist towards the top leg. So if your top leg is the right leg, twist to your right. If it's your left leg, twist to your left. then very gently bring yourself back to center, and let's switch to the other side. And then bring yourself back to center. And let's finish up with the wide-legged forward bend. What you want to do is take the legs out wide. Okay, and you can flex or point. If your hamstrings are on the tighter side, then maybe flex your feet. But if they are achy and maybe super, super tight, point your toes. Then you're gonna lift your arms up nice and tall. And then on your exhale, take it right to the center. You can keep yourself in this stretch if you would like. If it's feeling nice, keep yourself there. But I just want to thank each and every one of you for joining me on a suspension workout today. And I will see each and every one of you during your next one-on-one session. Please rest the body, recover. I know I am today. And I will see you guys next week.